Conflicting narratives are emerging from Yemen after a deadly wave of U.S. airstrikes targeted Houthi positions, with Iran now pushing back against claims that members of its elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, were killed in the operation. The U.S. launched a fatal strike on April 1st in Alpha Mesa, a coastal area in Yemen's strategic port city of Hodeidah. Yemen's Minister of Information, Mohammed Al-Arian, took to X to declare that 70 Houthi fighters had been killed, including senior field commanders and a number of experts from the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. But that claim has been swiftly dismissed by Iranian outlet Tasnim, which reported that its sources have found no evidence of any Iranian casualties in the region. According to the agency, no Iranian individual has been martyred in Yemen, and such reports are being dismissed as part of psychological warfare aimed at dragging the region into a wider conflict. Iranian military officials have consistently maintained that Yemen's Houthi rebels are independently resisting U.S. and Israeli aggression. Meanwhile, the scale of U.S. air activity appears to be intensifying. Yemeni sources reported at least 5 separate U.S. airstrikes on Cameron Island, part of Hodeidah province, just hours after similar strikes were conducted in the northern province of Sada, according to the Houthi-aligned Al-Masirah TV. Sada was hit 4 times in the latest round on top of 2 earlier air raids in the Killen area. So far, there's been no official update on casualties or material damage from these particular strikes. But the Houthis did acknowledge at least 2 fatalities and 4 injuries from another airstrike in Sadr on April 5th. Footage aired by Al Jazeera showed what appeared to be a 2-story building reduced to rubble. The rebels identified the site as a solar power shop, but offered no further details about the identities of the victims. Earlier, U.S. President Donald Trump shared drone footage on social media, purporting to show a deadly strike on a group of Houthi fighters. These Houthis gathered for instructions on an attack. Oops, there will be no attack by these Houthis. They will never sink our ships again. The U.S. Central Command has neither confirmed the location nor verified the authenticity of the video. Since the 15th of March, the Trump administration has said over 200 airstrikes have been carried out against Houthi targets, but it hasn't released specifics. Yemen's Houthi-run Saba news agency described the bombing highlighted by Trump as targeting a social aid visit in Hodeidah Governorate, adding that those present at that gathering had no connection to the operations carried out by the Houthis. Still, the report did not identify the dead as civilians, hinting they may have had some role within Houthi ranks. Iran's top military commander has warned that the Islamic Republic is fully prepared for any confrontation, while reaffirming that it will not be the first to initiate war. Major General Hossein Salami, chief commander of the IRGC, told senior military officials on April 5th that Tehran stands ready for both psychological and military warfare. We are absolutely not concerned about a war, that we will not initiate a war, but are ready for any war. We will not retreat even one step if the enemy dares act. Addressing rising regional tensions, Salami claimed Iran has developed both the technology and strategy to counter Israel, which he described as vulnerable. Despite extensive American backing, we have acquired the know-how and formulas to overcome this enemy and have incorporated them into all elements of our weaponry and equipment. Referring to 2024 as Operation True Promise, a retaliatory strike against Israel, Salami claimed 581 Iranian missiles successfully hit their targets inside what he called the occupied territories, defying Israel's multi-layered missile defenses. He insisted this was only a fraction of Iran's capabilities, suggesting the full extent of Iran's arsenal remains untapped. Salami also stressed the growing power of the regional resistance front, warning that if fully activated, its reach and firepower would overwhelm adversaries. The resistance front has not yet brought its full potential to the fore. If it opens its hands, the scope and fire of the war will be beyond the enemy's imagination. His remarks come amid escalating clashes involving Iran-backed groups across the region, U.S. strikes in Yemen, and mounting Israeli threats, raising fears of a broader regional confrontation. Iran is reportedly expanding its network of Glider-over-the-horizon early warning radars with new installations identified near Tabriz in the northwest and along the Persian Gulf coast. Moves aimed at strengthening Tehran's air defense posture amid heightened tensions with Israel and the United States. The site's verified through satellite imagery by open-source intelligence analysts using platforms such as Google Earth suggest Tehran's growing concern over preemptive strikes or military escalation. These radar systems are designed to detect long-range threats, including strike aircraft, cruise missiles, and ballistic projectiles, potentially altering the risk calculus for adversaries contemplating strikes on Iranian soil. The Goodyear radar, first revealed in 2011 and inducted by the IRGC in 2012, boasts an advertised range of up to 1,100 kilometers for missile detection and 600 kilometers for aircraft. Iranian officials claim the radar can track stealth aircraft and drones while withstanding electronic warfare, though such claims remain unverified by independent sources. Uniquely, the system uses high-frequency radio waves that bounce off the ionosphere, enabling the detection of threats beyond the horizon. This capability mirrors that of advanced systems like the US and FP-118 and Russia's Resonant, and both designed to track low-flying or stealth objects that evade conventional radar. The former commander of U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM, General David Petraeus, has warned that any potential U.S. airstrike on Iran would not be limited to its nuclear facilities, but would also target the Islamic Republic's air defense and missile capabilities to neutralize possible retaliation. Speaking exclusively to Iran International, Petraeus said there are also steps to show that we are very serious and that you should not do this, and therefore trying to deter Iran from doing what would be unacceptable and would force the United States to take action, that there's great concern about how close Iran is to the possibility of having a nuclear weapon. They're literally just one turn of the enrichment process from having weapons-grade uranium. Petraeus added that Trump had made it clear that he would never allow Iran to cross that threshold. Petraeus' comments come amid a marked increase in U.S. military activity in the region. Long-range bombers have been deployed to a strategic base in the Indian Ocean, a move that previously signaled the start of major U.S. military campaigns, including in Afghanistan and Iraq. Petraeus described the deployment as both a preparatory measure and a show of force aimed at deterring Tehran from escalating its nuclear ambitions. He said there are steps to show we are very serious in trying to deter Iran from doing what would be unacceptable,